Alright, so this is going to be a review of both Star Wars and Darth Vader Annual 1. These are for both the reviews for both Star Wars Annual and Darth Vader Annual number 1, like I just said. Why'd I repeat myself? Anyway, so yeah, I was thinking about doing two separate reviews about the comics, but I was like, I feel like there's not enough to do like two separate videos, so I decided to put them together. And since the Star Wars Annual came first, I'm going to talk about that first, then talk about Darth Vader. Now, the Star Wars Annual is... You can literally pick this up as like a one-shot, because it doesn't really tie into the current Vader Down story, and neither does the Darth Vader Annual. If you just want to read like a cool story involving these characters, cool standalone story, just go check that out. Now, both stories are written by Kieran Gillen, and seriously, Kieran Gillen knows how to write villain characters. I mean, this was kind of obvious with his Loki run, but he really knows how to write these Star Wars villains. So let's start off with Star Wars Annual. Now, this focuses around my favorite Star Wars character, Palpatine. Yes, this focuses around Darth Sidious. Well, kind of. He is the focus of the story, but he's not really the main character. He's more like he is the antagonist of the story, but he's a driving force behind the storyline itself. The story follows a guy named Ebar Beret, I think his name is, and he's a spy for the rebellion on Coruscant. And what's going on is that they've discovered some senators are about to be executed, and Palpatine's going to be there. So he decides. So ordered by Princess Leia, Rey goes into not Rey from Episode 7, mind you. He is tasked to go into this maximum security prison and release the senators and find a way to assassinate Palpatine. Now, the thing about Rey is that he doesn't see himself as a hero. He does what needs to be done. People like Luke Skywalker, and he even says people like Leia and Skywalker they're the heroes. I'm the guy who has to do the dirty shit. And yeah, he knows that if he gets a chance, he will kill Palpatine, and he wants to kill Palpatine and end this war. The thing, though, is that this is Palpatine we're talking about, the mastermind. And trust me, there is some great artwork in here. I can't remember who does the art, who's the name of the artist, but really, this is a very interesting story, because again, Palpatine doesn't show up towards the end, but you do see his presence everywhere throughout this story, and how it all comes together throughout it. Now, Palpatine is just a scheming bastard. There's a brilliant scene in here where he's just like, oh, a rebel, how unexpected. Like he doesn't even he just is just like whatever. And yeah, this comic's been out for a week, I don't want to spoil it, but how this comic ends and how Palpatine gets one over this rebel as well as the rebellion in general, because remember, this is set in between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and it's very evident in this comic and the Darth Vader Annual that, yeah, even though they took a sucker punch from the rebellion, the Empire's like, oh, you're gonna do us like that, okay. We'll play your game. Yeah, we're accustomed to this. We're the Empire. We wrote the book on playing dirty. I don't want to spoil it, but Palpatine manages to get so much behind it, get so much done without even killing any. He doesn't kill anyone directly, but he does get one on this spy as well as the rebellion on a whole. We also get a quick glimpse of Imperial Coruscant, which we don't see a lot, even in the Dark Horse comics. We didn't see a lot of, Imperial-controlled Coruscant after, the fall of the Republic. I'm always happy to see, it's always cool to see Imperial Coruscant, the heart of the Empire, more or less. So I thought that was pretty cool. I really don't want to spoil more than that, but it is a very dark comic, and Palpatine is just an awesome bastard. So anyway, moving on now to the Darth Vader Annual number 1. This was awesome. The artwork, again, this is written by Kieran Gillen, and this is also done by Lionel Yu. Very great artist, and it really shows in here. Now, the story in here is that Darth Vader has been sent to this mining colony for ore. they've been kind of lagging behind. So Vader is sent there to this planet to more or less send a gift, quote unquote, to remind the king of this planet as well as the dukes, hey, you still work for us. This is what, this present is going to remind you what the Empire can do. I really don't want to spoil it, but literally, when I found out what was in the box Vader was carrying, yeah, it's kind of like Seven. What's in the box? Don't worry, it's not a head, but it's something of super importance. And I was like, oh shit. Like, when you find out what is in that box when Vader reveals it, you're like, oh shit. And it reminds everybody, the Empire, you took just like in the Star Wars annual, like the Emperor, kind of like the Emperor's thought process behind his scheme, the whole thing with what Vader had in that box is very much like, yeah, you sucker punched us, but we're the Empire. Remember that. So, the story is, it's following around Vader and this young princess who's kind of delaying a meeting between Vader and her father, and the royal family wants to kill Vader. They don't want the Empire controlling their planet. But it's not like, oh, we're part of the rebellion now. No, they just want to be the own rulers of the planet and keep these dukes and ore for themselves. There's even a great scene where Vader is shown to a ballroom to see their native dance. And a man and a woman come up, and the man says to Vader, my daughter wants to dance with you. You have to dance since you're in the room. And Vader's like, okay, you want to dance? Let's go. He force chokes him and starts slinging him across the room and then drops him dead. And he's like, anyone else? No? That's what I thought. Man, Kerry Gillan knows how to write Vader as this just menacing character. And you just calm, cool, and collected, and menacing, as we know him to be in the original trilogy. Also, we get the return of B1 and 000, the two droids that are like the evil version of R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're in here. There's some really great jokes in here, like when they're on their mission that Vader tasked them on while he's following around the princess. What I also like in here is that everyone, and this is kind of evident in not just the Marvel Vader comics, but also comics revolving around Vader in the comics with Vader in Dark Horse. Stumbled through my words there. But yeah, what happens is that everyone kind of thinks Vader is just the Emperor's enforcer. Everyone thinks he's just like this big hulking brute, when really Vader's more intelligent, he's smarter than everyone else in the room. He just hides behind his power and reveals how intelligent he is to these people. Everyone just, thinks that, oh, he's just the Emperor's attack dog. He's not smart, he's just an idiot. And yeah, Vader proves, not just in this comic, but also in the Vader ongoing, is that his mind is more dangerous than anything he can wield with the dark side. Again, I don't want to spoil these comics, but they are just fantastic. If you haven't been reading either the Star Wars or Darth Vader ongoings, I highly recommend these. They're a little pricey, about $5. They're each $5, but if you're looking for if you don't want to be caught in the middle of the Vader Down event that's crossing over between the Star Wars ongoing, the Vader ongoing, and you want to get into like a cool standalone story to test the waters if you want to read the Star Wars comics, I would say pick these up. I would definitely recommend these. But once again, hope you all enjoyed these. Hope you enjoyed these two reviews, and yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.